What's up, gang? The gate was over $3 million. The attendance is 17,026, a full sellout. This is the highest grossing sporting event in Barclays history. Madison Square Garden, we're number 1 and number 3. Here, we're number 1 and number 2. So we broke our own record tonight. Ridiculous considering the week we had, but amazing. Very happy. Let me see. Fight of the night. I don't think there's any. There's a beat. That fight was the fight of the night. Mercier gets a bonus, and Chris for the stoppage of Joe Lozone. They all won $50,000. Congratulations to them. Anybody have any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, Dana, I just want to get your thoughts on Khabib's performance tonight. I mean, obviously Al was gutsy as well, but I wanted to hear what you thought about Khabib and just the whole week. I mean, everything that he went through to be able to take, 3 different opponents in a week and all the melee and all that stuff and still turn in a performance like that.
I think Khabib's performance was amazing. I honestly believe there's 3 guys in this company or in fighting that would have stayed and done and stayed in the fight. No doubt Conor McGregor, okay, Cowboy Cerrone, and Khabib. I mean, the stuff that this guy went through, physically, emotionally, mentally, this week, many people. I've been on the side where the guy who is the champ and is had a full camp won't take a guy who's coming off a short. No, I mean, it just doesn't happen. And what that guy's been through, and he came in and he fought. And much respect to Al too. He didn't show up for a paycheck. He came to win. He's a tough guy.
And just to be clear for the record, the belt that Khabib has is the only belt, right? No Tony Ferguson, no Conor McGregor, no belts.
Say that again?
The belt that Khabib has is now the only belt
That's the only belt.
Okay.
Yep.
So with that in mind, I'm curious. I mean, after the fight, he calls out Georges St-Pierre, says that's the fight he wants. Not Conor McGregor, not Tony Ferguson. What were your thoughts on that? Is that a fight you're interested in?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I mean, do you like the idea of him fighting Georges St-Pierre? Or do you like the idea of, I know you said you never booked Tony.
I don't have any ideas after this week, man. My brain is scrambled and I am a physical mess. I'm praying for Sunday. I'm so glad that this is over, and there was just such a positive outcome for the company. And again, I have to thank the fans too. There were no returns. Actually, tickets picked up and sold, and it's incredible. So thank you to the fans. Some of the people, when I was walking in, some of the fans were saying, thank God you didn't cancel this. I flew in from London. It cost me $10,000 this weekend and things like that. So shit show turned into something pretty good.
I did want to ask you real quickly. I saw you talking with the commission cage side tonight. She had done an interview and said that Paul Felder was never even presented as an option to the commission. Can you comment on it and clarify what happened?
Yeah, let me tell you this: the commission was awesome. The commission was outstanding, and I want to thank them for hanging in there with us this week too. Yeah, I mean, listen, they have their rules and regs here, and it is what it is,
Okay. Seemed like some confusion, but.
Huh?
Seemed like some confusion that you would hope to get Paul in there, but they said that it never even was considered.
Yeah, and just to clear something up too, I don't want to give this guy any publicity because he loves it, but that greasy, slimy rat, Espinoza, talking about how we break the rules and all this other shit. What is that? What's that guy? Oh my God! Just keep trying to be HBO and don't worry about what the fuck we're doing. You slimy little rat.
It just last thing for me, Dana, real quick. I know it's only been 24 hours since we last talked to you, but any updates at all on the Conor McGregor situation from him? Any change at all in that situation?
Is what?
Just the situation in general, your relationship, his legal situation.
We talked.
Any updates?
We talked yesterday.
How did it go?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think that there's a mutual respect between us, and obviously this week, I had so many things thrown at me this week. To focus on the show was insane. We'll get back and we'll focus on Conor McGregor.
Right now, Dana, you don't have any firm, plan of attack or of what you're going to do action-wise with Conor?
No. No.
You you obviously had something in mind before he gets to New York. Were you looking at
He didn't come to New York to do anything with me. He jumped on a plane with all those guys to come to New York for the Khabib thing. That's not true. He came to New York for Khabib.
What were you
He
thinking?
didn't come here to meet me.
What were you thinking though, like date-wise, as to when he would fight again?
I didn't even know Conor was here. There was like this thing at the press conference where a couple of guys at the press were like, they acted like they knew something, like he was coming here to meet, or he was coming here, you know? So no, I didn't know anything about him coming here.
But did you have a date in mind for him? Like you wanted him to fight when?
Yeah.
Even before all this happened?
September. We had talked about him fighting in September.
Do you think that's still possible at all?
I don't know. You can't ask me anything about Conor. I don't know anything about Conor. I haven't thought about it. There's nothing to think about this week except for this event.
I think in every weight class, you want the guy who's the champion to feel like he is the best fighter in the division. Did you feel that way at the end of the fight with Khabib tonight?
Did I feel like yeah. I mean, Khabib's unbelievable.
Over Tony and
the
Conor.
fact that Khabib got through this week, stayed in the fight, went out and fought tonight. It's just, that guy, you know, he was just telling me, I haven't been home to see my kids since September. You know, he's telling me everything that he's been through to get to tonight. And then to get here this week, it's draining me. I'm drained, and I didn't do shit. I'm drained, you know? I couldn't imagine going through the week that I went through and then having to go fight. It's just, I can't imagine.
Hi, Dana. Igor Lazarev from News Agency TASS Russia. Do you have any agreements about UFC tournament in Russia? And if I understand right, Khabib will not participate in this event.
About us coming to Russia?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been saying it for a long time. We're definitely coming to Russia. But that's all the information I have about it. I know.
And how about Khabib?
That's all I got.
And how about Khabib, if this tournament will be?
Khabib fighting in Russia? Yeah. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would make a lot of sense. I think if we go to Russia, we'll probably have a fight first without him, and then it would be awesome to have a huge fight with him. Thank you. Kev?
Dana, could you possibly, I wasn't going to ask you this, but could you possibly do Khabib and Conor in Russia with security situation?
Could I
Would you
what?
be able to do that?
Could I what?
Could you do Khabib versus Conor in Russia
Oh, my God.
with security?
I don't know. Seriously, I really can't answer any Conor questions till I, you know,
This
things got
question,
to play out. He's got to go to court in June.
this question, you know, indirectly about Conor, is the company in better or worse shape today after the events of this week? You know, because there's positives and negatives. The positive, obviously, you kept the show together and had a great night. You know, the negative, of course, your biggest star is arrested and looked like a fool. I mean, so is the company in better or worse shape than it was coming into the week?
We're in way better shape. Way better shape. Yeah, in a perfect world, it'd be great if Conor didn't show up and do that. And obviously, I didn't see that coming, or I would have tried very hard to prevent that. But yeah, I mean, we broke a record tonight. We broke the arena record for the highest gross, and we broke our own record. And we didn't just break it; we blew it out of the water. We beat it by almost $1 million. So yeah, it's and the pay-per-views were great too. So yeah, it was awesome.
I mean, is there any tangential damage that comes with the impressions that were created by what happened the other day? Because I know how hard you guys have worked to create a different image.
Right. Well, what happened. We can't change that, unfortunately. But yeah, we just have to move. Listen, people say to me, oh, this looks so bad for the sport and everything else. I agree, it doesn't look good. But at the end of the day, there's a lot worse that goes on in all the other sports. So I'll take a dolly through a window any day.
Yeah. And then from just to talk about Khabib, when you look at the level of grappling he has, everybody knows what that is, but he went in there against Al and he stood and struck with him for 2 or 3 rounds, right? And I mean, Al didn't train for a 5-round fight, I get that, but I mean, he looked pretty good striking too. I mean, he's developing into an all-around fighter, not just a one-dimensional guy. Would you not agree?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously his move, putting you down on the ground, and when he pins and traps that arm and then just starts smashing you, it's a lot tougher to do with a guy who's a wrestler like Al. Al's got good ground game, strong kid too, and has knockout power. And it was, I mean, Al said it at the press conference, I have everything to gain and nothing to lose, whereas Khabib has everything to lose. And I think that's the type of fight that Khabib fought tonight, and on top of all the stuff that's happened to him too.
Dana, just any thoughts on Rose Namajunas' title defense tonight? How did you just think she looked? And what do you feel about Joanna Jędrzejczyk now that she's in that kind of weird 0-2 contender spot that we've seen some fighters in the past?
Who, Rose?
Yeah. Rose's position now.
No, Rose looked incredible. I mean, if you look at how much she's grown since The Ultimate Fighter, she looked amazing tonight. And Joanna did too. It was a great fight. I had it 2-2 going into the last round, and it was awesome. I was literally just in the back doing an interview, and I'm sitting there talking, and Rose is standing right in front of me, doing an interview, and she's back there walking around and doing her thing. How many fights have we seen with those type of leg kicks, where as soon as the fight is over, they walk around a little bit, and then the announcement, they can't even walk. They have to be carried out of the octagon, and then I'll go in the back, and you'll see people on wheelchairs, or they get transported. That little girl is walking around back there on both legs. It's pretty impressive.
And I only asked this because you did mention Steven Espinoza on your own, but Floyd Mayweather did an interview tonight on the Lara broadcast, and he said if he were to fight in the UFC, he would want Showtime and CBS to be involved. So with that said, and your thoughts on Espinoza?
That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
So that could be a roadblock to Floyd actually fighting in the UFC if that's
Yeah.
realistic.
We'll do it on HBO.
Dana, you've had a bit of a rocky relationship with Iaquinta over the years, over the last year or so. What do you make of him now?
I mean, I've had rocky relationships with you should know that, Ariel, with just about, everybody at one point or time. But, I've never not respected Al Iaquinta. I think Al was more upset with us than we were with Al. Or I don't know what his, what he was upset about, but we weren't upset with him. It happens. Listen, we're all in business together, and these things happen. But I have a lot of respect for him for stepping up and taking this fight.
And have you talked to GSP recently?
Who, GSP?
Yeah.
No, we haven't talked recently.
Okay. So you don't know if he's at all interested in this challenge from Khabib?
No, I haven't talked to GSP, and I definitely haven't talked to GSP about fighting.
Okay.
I think that I hit his agent a month and a half ago about something, but I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what it was. It was about a fight, but I don't. It might have been Woodley. I don't remember.
Is it possible to clarify what you said about Brock yesterday? Because you said he's still under contract. How is he under contract while still under contract with WWE?
Because he retired from UFC, retired from MMA.
So when he came at UFC 200, he signed a multi-fight deal?
I think so. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, Brock still has a contract with us.
Okay, and has he told you that his intention is to return?
Has he told me what?
That his intention is to return to
He
UFC?
wants to come back.
Yeah? So that picture you took, was that sort of when he told you that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to WrestleMania tomorrow?
Did what?
Are you going to WrestleMania tomorrow?
Yeah,
Okay. For Brock or for Ronda?
for Ronda.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last one.
I didn't even know Brock was in it till you just said that.
Come on.
Swear to God, I didn't know that.
I think he's the main event.
I've been a little busy.
Sure. When do you expect to announce your TV plans for 2019 and beyond, the contract?
When do I?
You expect to announce your TV, the news of where you're going, like what's going on with the TV contract?
I don't know. I guess when it's done.
Is it close?
I think so.
Could you tell us with who?
No.
Yeah, hi, Dan. You mentioned on Wednesday that this was a bit of an apology card because of the last one. I wouldn't say an apology card is needed because this was really good, but it was such a, as you said, shit show. What are we getting next time? Are we getting 5 title fights and Brock Fedor? What are we getting?
Hey, I'll tell you what. You know, obviously we were bringing an incredible card here with this trip, but this card was good tonight. It was very good, and obviously I would have liked a different outcome on the main event for it to be Tony versus Khabib, but. We pulled it off, man. It was good fights. It was entertaining. The crowd was into it, and every time we come to New York, we're trying to bring our A game. So,
What did you think of the crowd booing during some of the fights that maybe weren't deserved to
yeah,
be booed?
it happens. We've been to places where that happens. Listen, the problem is when you just get done seeing the Zabit fight, right? It's like every other fight. Now, no matter what happens, unless you just stand in front of each other and go toe to toe, it's tough. It's tough to roll in after a fight like that. Go ahead, buddy.
Who will be next opponent of Rose Namajunas, or who is closer, Jessica Andrade or maybe Karolina Kowalkiewicz after this fight against Herrick?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure, but you know, she looks great. She looks amazing, and I know Claudia has a fight coming up, and Carolina looked good tonight. I don't know. We'll see. I usually don't talk about what's next the night of the fight.
But Carolina, what is your opinion about this fight, Carolina's fight?
Yeah, she looked great. She looked great. It was a great fight, and Felice looked good too. I mean, that was a tight fight, and both those guys looked good. That was another good fight. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.